Hello everybody, this is Nate with the STS Guys bringing you another action figure unboxing. Staying with that SDCC 2019 trend, I'm doing a bunch of unboxing. I've done 3 already, so if you're interested in some of the exclusives that were released at San Diego Comic-Con, please check out our channel and see those unboxings. Today we are focusing on the NECA 2019 exclusive Batman vs. Predator set. This set was teased a long time ago, and then I think due to licensing issues, NECA had to pull it back. We didn't really hear anything about it for a while, and then all of a sudden, really close to Comic-Con, NECA revealed that they would be releasing it. So I'm really happy that this set came out. I actually do have all 3 comics of this story. This is an actual comic story, Batman vs. Predator. Enough of me talking, let's go ahead and get in the unboxing and see what we're getting here. So this box is actually really simple, not a whole lot to do with the box, but you have the Batman symbol, you have Predator, it says DC right here, 20th Century Fox, ages 17 and up right here on the top. And then that's about it. On the bottom you have some, official stuff, Batman, DC, things like that. But other than that, there is nothing else on this box. It's very plain. It is a window style box, so if you are not an open box collector, you can display it easily in this window. I've actually unpackaged this already to make things easier for the unboxing, so we can get right into looking at the figures and we don't have to worry about taking everything out. This actually does come tied down. There's a lot of little ties, there's a lot of plastic that holds it down, so it takes a little bit to get it all out, and I wanted to make sure I didn't do that on video. Anyways, this set looks really, really awesome. It came out excellent. Spitting image of the comic. If you guys haven't read that comic, I really, really recommend it. It's kind of like one of those Elseworld comics where it's got this cool story. It puts characters together that you might not think would go together, Batman versus Predator, but it's actually a really, really cool story. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the unboxing and look at these figures. Of course, I have to start with Batman first. Sorry, this thing is kind of stuck in here pretty well. But yeah, this Batman looks beefy, he's huge. I really was always a fan of how this armored suit came out, and they really nailed it here. If you guys aren't familiar with the comic, basically Predator comes to Gotham, Batman tries to stop him, he gets his butt kicked, he goes back and creates this armored suit, and then comes back and gives Predator a really good fight. It's a great comic, you need to read it. But this figure looks awesome. It's a spitting image of how he looked in the comic. I really love how this armor came out. I love that Batman's got a pissed off face here. It looks like he's in the middle of the fight. And then you have this really cool armor detailing all throughout, nice lines all throughout the suit. He's got a blade coming off his gauntlet here. Really good just line details. I like the kind of softer blue tone paint they used for this. He's got the armored shoulders, he's got the armored chest that has scratches all over it. That cool bat symbol. His helmet looks great, nice and covered up helmet. You can see his face under there, his eyes, and going to the back here, carries all the way throughout. Going down his legs, I didn't realize it before, but these armor pieces actually do come off. So if you want to take that off, or maybe he got in a fight and his armor's starting to come off, you can represent that. His boots are nice and big and beefy, and you've got cool tread on the bottom. And then also he comes with a really nice fabric cape. It's a nice big cape. It's a cool kind of like navy bluish color. I really like how this came out. It's not wired or anything, but it's a really nice fabric cape. It's not thick. It's a nice soft material. It'll be easily to move around if you want to take a shot or something. And then there's the back of the figure. So very happy with how this set came out. Definitely had to get it, being a huge Batman fan. Also, a Predator fan. I don't collect a lot of the NECA Predators or the Alien figures. I just, you can't collect everything. But I am glad that it was included in the set so I could really get a first-hand look. Let's go through the Batman accessories real quick. So this is an extra accessory for his visor. It attaches way back here, and then it goes down the front. Let me see if I can get this on real quick. So you can kind of see it, but it goes all along the top of his head, and then it covers his eyes. I really like how that looks. It looks real clean. It looks, it's a little bit different that the visor goes all the way up with the glass like that, but I really like how that came out, and it's easily removed. I don't have it all the way in there, so it does snap in. But yeah, it's a cool accessory, and it's a great way to kind of switch up the way the Batman looks. So he also comes with this small little gun. Let's see if I can get this out a little easier. There we go. So he comes with this small little gun. It looks kind of like an alien gun. I haven't read the comic in a long time, so I can't remember how he uses this, but he definitely does. But fairly simple, very small little gun. Probably shoots lasers. So that's included. You also get this bat and the, if you guys haven't read the comic, there's a scene where Batman basically takes this bat and smacks Predator right across the face with it. He hits him really hard. He hits him so hard, in fact, that he leaves blood behind on the bat. So they represented that here with this bat. You can see, try to get the focus right. You can see the blood splatter on the bat from where Batman hit him. I like how they included this bat. I don't actually think I have a bat accessory, so I'm pretty happy this was included. Pretty simple though, just plastic, brown, but it's nice extra accessory. And then they do give you an extra hand, probably for the gun. We didn't cover the hands, but there are really nice detailed. You can see the individual fingers. This is definitely for the gun. You can see the trigger finger there. Don't get any extra hands, but you do get these two at least, which is nice. And then let's go into this Predator figure. This Predator figure is like huge. I don't realize how big these are. NECA scale's actually a little bit bigger, so it's a 1/10 versus what I'm really traditionally used to, which is 1/12. Just means you get an extra inch, really. 1/10 figures are usually about 7 inches high. This guy's probably a little taller than that, I gotta say. He's huge, and he looks awesome. I'm actually, seeing this makes me want to get more of the Predators. I've always seen them in stores, and I've always been tempted, but I just have steered away from it because it doesn't really fit into my collection. But being that this is a comic set, I made the exception, and I'm really happy that I did because he came out really good. He looks awesome. I love the detail and the netting. He's got this cool skull chain. He's got armor all throughout. I love the helmet. It's a classic Predator style helmet. He's got his dreads there that are movable. They're all individually molded. It's not just one big plastic piece. They all come apart. He's got armor all throughout. He's got his cool little hand piece here, and it does fold up. I was just checking. I was like, man, I wonder if that folds up. And it does. So if you've seen the movies, he uses this, for self-detonation. He uses it for all of his little gadgets that he has, his invisibility. And then you see, going down through the bottom, this is where you put his little, his spinning blade. I'm not really sure what the technical name is for that. And he's got huge feet. It's a big Predator. Predator's always known to be like a big behemoth of an alien. And they really represented that well. And this looks clean. It looks really, really nice, actually. I really like how this came out. I'll try to cover articulation. I'll go back to Batman. I'm a little scared with NECA sometimes because fresh out of the box, articulation can be a little tight. So I do recommend that you warm it up a bit. But you can see he's got double jointed legs. His leg goes back and forth about that far, back about that far. He's got nice pivot in his feet, a little bit of left and right rocker. His arm is double jointed, but because of the armor, it kind of is a little bit limited. His wrist goes back and forth a good amount all the way around. His head doesn't look up very much, to be honest. Oh, I just popped his head right off. Don't worry, I didn't break it. It's supposed to come off. But yeah, his head doesn't rotate a whole lot. Oh, this thing's really hard to get back in there. There we go. Okay. But yeah, so overall, good articulation. He does have some ab crunch, so you can move forward, you can move back. Pretty good movement for, as big of a figure as he is. So let's go into his accessories. He comes with some really cool stuff, actually. So he comes with an extra head, an extra unmasked head, which I'm really stoked about. I love unmasked heads, and getting an unmasked Predator, I mean, it's such an iconic face, and they really represented it well. You can see his eyes there. You can see, the mandibles. I've always thought the Predator face was so unique and nasty looking, and they really just represented that well. Again, you have the individual dreadlocks. You can see the little peg hole there on the bottom. He's got the cool kind of detail here in the back of his head. Great sculpting overall in this NECA set. You know, it's one thing I've said this before, but NECA really nails detail. All their figures are exceptionally detailed, and they're excellent representations of the source material. This is a backpack cannon. So if you're familiar with Predator, you're familiar with how he uses this. This thing pops up and it shoots people. He puts it on his back. So let me see if I can see how that looks. Yeah, it goes in like this, and then it kind of rests on the side there like that. Love that. I love how they included the backpack cannon. I was hoping they would. And then you have this disc. So if you saw, I don't know if he does it, I don't think he does it in Predator 1, but in Predator 2, this disc is like electronic. He activates it, it kind of expands, and then he throws it, and it's super sharp, so it cuts really through anything. And you do, he has a little holster for it here on the side, which you can kind of see. You can rest that in his little holster. Not to finagle a little bit, it doesn't snap right in, but it goes right there. And then he gets a cool spear, really nasty looking spear actually. It's got double blades, it's really nice and long, it actually does extend, so that's cool. So you can make it smaller, or if he wants to really get down, he can have it bigger. So I like that, great accessory. You can really create a cool fight scene between these two. I'm just already trying to imagine it right now. He gets an open splayed out hand, probably for his disc. And then you also get another hand. Oops, you can't see that very well. So there's a splayed out hand. Great detailing, love the paintwork. Really nice looking set. And that's all the accessories. That's pretty much everything that this set comes with. Let's go back to Batman real quick. I forgot to cover the articulation, but basically the same idea. This one's a little bit more tight, so I'm gonna probably need to warm this up to really get it to move all the way. But he has good movement in his legs. It does move a little bit more than that. I'm just a little afraid to push it. You know, in his feet, doesn't move a whole lot, but you do get some pivot and some back and forth. His leg goes forward pretty good amount if you start to push it. And just remember, these NECA figures are always a little tight when they're first out of the box. Back on his leg, his elbow, good movement. Goes a little farther than that. But again, the armor kind of gets in the way of the movement a little bit. His arm goes up to about there, goes forward and back. You can't go all the way around because this armor piece does get in the way, but you do get some good movement there. His head goes up about that much, goes down about that much. He does have a joint here in his ab, so you can really kind of push him forward a good amount, or you can push him back as well. But great movement. You know, they're not the most articulated figures, but for what you're getting and for the size and for how much armor these things have, they move really well for what it is. But yeah, please check out the rest of our channel. If it's your first STS Guys video, we do a weekly podcast, normally on Saturdays at 9 p.m. This week, we're doing it on Friday, so tune in. We're going to be talking about Comic-Con. We're on Instagram at STS Guys. We're on Twitter at STS Guys. We're on Facebook at The STS Guys. This has been Nate from the STS Guys. Thanks for tuning in.